I'm Jim, and he's Alex. Welcome to the Charging Status EV podcast. What have you been up to, Alex?
Oh, I've been driving some interesting cars past few days, but what about you?
Well, I've been to China.
Why, yeah, that's so. Yeah, if you saw the podcast a few weeks ago, you would have seen that I had someone else on the podcast that wasn't Jim. But yeah, that's because Jim was over in China with Chery. That was your first time in China, so how was it?
Yeah, so I got invited to go by JQ Amoda, Chery, or basically the Chery Group, and it was to the Chery International or Chery Global User Summit. And basically they bring together teams from all over the world that sell Chery cars in their various markets. And they're selling cars in 120 different markets.
Jeez.
And they are huge. I mean, they've sold 5 million cars. And there were people from 120 different countries at this event. And,
Jeez.
but, well, probably more than that, but from 120 territories.
Yeah.
And I mean, the main conference hall I was in, there was like 3,500 people in there or something.
Wow.
The keynote speaker was Ban Ki-moon, the former United Nations Secretary General, which
Yeah.
like fairly impressive. And they had, various dignitaries and stuff there. And we were there's just 5 of us, I think, from sort of UK media invited to go over.
Okay.
And it was brilliant. Like, it was an absolute eye opener. China generally, we flew into Shanghai, and we were too late for the bullet train, so we ended up getting a taxi to Wuhu, which was about 5 hours, 6 hours.
Oh, yeah.
And around Shanghai, you saw a few European cars, but I mean a few. I did see a Rolls-Royce and a Lambo. But aside from that, it's Chinese cars. And some of the Chinese cars are unbelievably good looking. And then you're seeing these little things like sort of covered 3-wheel mopeds. Loads and loads of mopeds. But the thing about the mopeds is they're pretty much all electric.
Yep.
Which I didn't expect. And I mean, what that's done for air quality, I'd imagine, is phenomenal, but also for noise pollution. The dangerous thing, though, is that they don't have any kind of external speakers on, and people are coming at you from all angles on them at all times. If you're on the pavement, yeah, fair enough. You're still fair game. So you have to be on your toes a little bit, and you don't make any sharp movements.
Yeah.
I did see one hilarious incident where 2 people on electric mopeds just had a complete head-on.
Oh.
Both fell off, didn't even look at each other, got back on their mopeds, didn't say a word, and then just carried on.
What happens every day, yeah.
That's obviously just what happens on your way to work.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was bonkers. But the cars, oh my Lord, just the Chery brands alone. I mean, in Wuhu, which is, Chery have got a massive factory in Wuhu. They've got huge amounts of office space and R&D space. I mean, Chery, I would imagine they're the major employer in Wuhu with its 3.5 million inhabitants.
Jeez.
But the cars on the road, I would say, was like 60% Chery.
Wow.
With their various different brands.
Oh, they've got a lot of brands, haven't they? So
yeah, they don't have a Motor JQ over there, which is weird because like we went to this huge campus, which is the Motor JQ campus.
Yeah.
But that's not available in China. But they've like Luxeed, Exeed, iCar,
J Tour as well.
J Tour, yeah. Jet Tour it is.
Oh, a Jet Tour. Okay.
Yeah. Oh God, one beginning with F.
Full win.
Full win. Yeah. Le Pass.
I thought that was Leapass, but fair enough.
It might be. Yeah. we a couple of us had this conversation and we ended up with about 4 different variants of it. And others, by the way.
Yeah, there's a lot.
And like the value of some of the cars is just incredible. I don't know if you've seen the YouTube shorts I did,
I've
but
seen a few of them. Yeah.
it's like the Exceed ET8, which makes the Ioniq 9 that's on my drive at the moment look small,
Right.
and complete luxury inside. You know, really plush leather sort of armchairs, huge drop down 8K OLED telly for the passengers in the back. I think it drives itself, parks itself, everything like that.
Yeah.
And I was asked by one of the guys over there, like, what would your guess be for the price of this on the Chinese market? And I said, well, 120,000 pounds equivalent, even knowing the price of cars in China.
Yeah.
And he was like, no, it's 22. And then I saw, I think it's a Luxeed, is it an S7? It's basically their Model 3 stroke Model S.
Okay.
0 to 62 in like 3.3. A ridiculous amount of range, but it was on CLTC rather than WLTP.
Right.
So, you know, pinch of salt.
Yeah.
But that, again, full self-drive. You can do like the summon. You can send it off to park itself, come out of your work and summon it, and it will just appear.
Mm-hmm.
Pop the door open for you. That could do wireless charging.
Right.
You literally just drive it over a charging pad. The ones they had there were only 7 kilowatts.
Okay.
But
That's fine though.
I think they can do more. It can also charge at 850 kilowatts.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And all that, and it's the same price as the Tesla Model 3. And inside, it was way more luxurious. And, you know, it felt nice. Even like the infotainment system felt like really, really well designed, and it was super snappy. And they obviously had a crazy processor in it.
Mm-hmm.
Where like the Chinese cars we're getting at the moment, if you look at the Chery stuff over here, the infotainment stuff and all that, it's actually all pretty good.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, it is good. Yeah.
But it's not like amazing.
Yeah.
Where you're using this thing thinking, God, this is like
Yeah.
next gen kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it was, yeah, like 22 grand or something for that car, or 25
Crazy.
grand maybe. It was the same as a Tesla Model 3 is locally there.
Mm.
And I just looked at this car and I was just thinking, why would anyone ever buy a Tesla over this?
Mm.
Because the base Tesla Model 3, I mean, I've got one. I love it. I think it's brilliant. I struggle to find a flaw with that car.
Mm.
Everything about it I think is great. And I'm looking at this car just thinking, everything about this is better. And this is one of the most interesting things. I don't know if you've seen that video I put out of, I think it was an Exceed something, and it's got fully independent wheels, and it's basically
Yes. I did
parallel
see that.
parking sideways.
Yeah.
Well, they said the main reasons they've done that, obviously they're showing it off there doing stupid things, and in the comments of the video, a lot of people are like, oh, what's the point in this? Just learn how to park, blah, blah, blah. And, I mean, they're just showing it off to get people to stop and take a video, as I did, and get your attention. The real reason that they've developed that is sort of twofold. One is to give you more luggage space and passenger space because you get rid of the axles. But secondly, it helps it brake a lot quicker because when you're braking, it will tow the wheels in slightly.
Oh, really? Yeah.
And they've done something else crazy with it, which means that the tyres won't wear as quickly. And they're like, oh, yeah, this can brake like 20% faster and safer than like the best Mercedes braking technology. And everything seems to be done like with a specific purpose behind it. I think anyone that is in any doubt about the future of Chinese cars, I mean, I keep hearing this like they're going to take over the world and this and that and the other. And I've looked at a lot of the cars that have come here and thought, yeah, that's decent. And they seem to have pushed mostly on value. Like BYD haven't blown me away. I just sort of think, well, they're okay. They're pretty good.
Yeah.
And but I don't think they're that cheap, and I don't think they're that much better generally. Like if
Yep.
we're talking in broad generalisms, but some of the stuff I've seen over there was insane. It was like, even if you factor in homologation costs and import costs and everything else that needs to happen here, I think we're going to be looking at cars that are 30% better and 30% cheaper.
Yeah, it's only gonna happen, isn't it? It just moves on, and yeah, some of the cars we're seeing right now are technically older that
Yeah.
we've seen in the UK. So like the BYD Seal has already been replaced in other
Yeah.
markets. So
And like the
yeah.
Motor 5,
Yep,
I think there's already a new one out. And,
there is. Yeah, yeah.
I saw the new Motor 7 while I was over there.
Oh, okay.
That's looked quite nice.
Yeah, yeah,
The Tiggo 9 was floating around.
yeah.
But yeah, we are quite often getting older stuff, and I think probably part of that is because of the homologation.
Yep.
And I know that's holding up the rate that they can actually bring things in, because like NCAP are saying, well, we've put however many new Chinese cars through already. You're going to have to wait your turn now.
Yep.
And obviously, some of these cars, like one was the iCar, the V23, which I absolutely adored. It's sort of a cross between a sort of a Jimny wide boy, which they used to have back in the day, the Jimny wide body, and a Bronco, I guess, which are two cars I've got time for. And that over there is like 9,800 quid. But I think that would need a lot of work to get 5-star Euro NCAP.
Yep.
And immediately you're probably putting 5-6 grand onto the cost. Then you're putting import duty on. Then you're thinking, well, we've got to set up dealerships in that territory.
And right-hand drive, and
Then you've
yeah,
right-hand drive. Then you've got VAT to add on. Right-hand drive's not so much of an issue because they're in other right-hand drive markets.
Oh, Australia, I suppose, is quite big for Chinese cars now.
Australia, South Africa.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if they're in India.
Oh yeah, South Africa's huge for Chinese cars, because whenever
yeah.
I've googled a brand that we've only just had here, it's like, oh, there's a review here from like last year. So
Yeah, in our hotel we had about 40 people from South Africa.
yeah,
And it's a massive market for them. Middle East is a massive market for them as well. So you've got all these things to factor in, but it might be that £10,000 car, if we finally get it in the UK, it might be like 35
yeah,
with the same margin on it,
yep,
possibly.
yeah, makes sense.
And that's something people struggle with a bit. I think they watch videos of these cars in China and think that's the car you're going to get here, and it's not. It's going to be vastly different.
Yeah.
Funny enough, on the motorway yesterday, I saw a Luxeed, I think it was the R7, on the back of a trailer being transported.
Oh, in the UK.
And it had the Chinese badging on the back as well. So it's not, it is a Chinese one. So I don't know what the deal is with that. Maybe they've brought it in to do an event or something. But.
Yeah. No, it's interesting. You mentioned Omoda and JQ don't exist in China. It's weird. Those two brands were made to be their export brands. And then the Omoda 5 is a Chery branded car, Chery Omoda it's called. The JQ7, which we've got, is a Chery something or other. And I think the JQ5 is I think it is the first car that was developed for the JQ brand. Like, it's not just a rebadged thing. And then the Omoda 9 is an Exceed, which is why it's so plush, because it's their luxury brand.
Yeah.
It's a lovely car, that is. But yeah, no, it's...
That is, yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense. Sort of, I guess they decided ages ago that they need two new brands to export stuff
It's
as.
weird as well for like the Omoda 9 for me, because Omoda is supposed to be their young, like funky tech first sort of brand.
Yeah.
Like the Omoda 4, I went to the launch of that while I was over there.
Oh yeah, that mad looking thing.
Yeah, and that's a mad looking thing that's very sort of young, and all the marketing around it's very young. In the launch was very young.
Yep.
They've also got the Plus version, which looks great, like a real hot hatch kind of thing. But the numbers didn't stack up against it. It was basically the same performance, and they've just made it look really sporty and put a massive wing on it.
It's like the Aura 03 GT then. It's the same kind of idea.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it's weird that that young sort of funky brand is the one that got the Emoda 9.
Yeah, that is odd.
Because that's feels like a very German premium vehicle to me.
Yeah. Strange, isn't it?
But the JQ7 has obviously been huge.
Yep.
In China, Chery has a joint venture with JLR, so they make Land Rover
Yes.
and everything for the Chinese market over there.
Yep.
And they were keen to point out, because I had a couple of interviews with some of the C-suite guys, and they were keen to point out that they weren't trying to copy the Land Rover products in any way, because JLR are an incredibly important partner for them.
Yeah.
But instead, they want to give people what they want.
Yeah. I think people have got a big issue with the 5 and the 7, that they look like Land Rovers. I mean, they take a little bit of inspiration, but I don't know how different that you can make them look. But I think they look. I was looking at this the other day. I was trying to decide. I guess you've wondered this before: is how do normal people buy cars? I think a lot of it is based on, one, how the car looks, and those JQ7s, they look really nice, and I think that's going to be a big thing for them. They've seen them on the road. Maybe someone else has got one. They thought, oh, that's a nice looking car, and they're going to have a look. I think, as far as new cars go, they look really good in terms of their exterior design. So I think that's a big thing for people.
I sort of made the point in conversation, someone will be over there as well, is how many cars are truly original looking now.
Yeah.
But with the Chinese stuff as well, I mean, if people think JLR are getting ripped off in any way, they should look at how many cars over there have been inspired by Porsche. Because, I mean, there are some where we've literally just taken either the front end or the back end and just blurred a couple of bits slightly. There are so many cars that have been, the design's been informed by, like, the Taycan Cross Turismo or the Panamera. It's unbelievable.
Well, what Xiaomi are doing, they're I think it's the SU7.
That Xiaomi looks incredible, brother. They're almost as ubiquitous on the roads in Wuhu as a Tesla Model Y is in this country. I mean, every time you go out, you see one. Every time you go out, you see an iCar V23 as well, to be fair.
Yeah. Well, with the Xiaomi, they've sort of, I guess Xiaomi phones are probably really popular in China. So, from what I understand, there's a really nice integration between your phone and the car, and they're quite cheap, and they look really cool. And I remember when they came out, I think there was queues to the stores to even see one in person. So it's obviously captured the hearts and minds of people in China.
Sort of Xiaomi, like mobile, and they're basically their equivalent of an Apple store. So one of those in the mall as well.
Yeah.
And it was very Apple store.
Yeah.
But crammed with products, and again, some of that stuff looked very forward thinking. It was like, oh, we'll copy the new iPhone Pro
Cameras
Max. They're the equivalent, but this is got a screen on the back.
Oh yeah.
Instead of this panel. And you're like, oh, okay.
Yep.
So yeah, it's kind of like imitation and one-upmanship all at the same time. But yeah, just massively impressive on the car front. I was surprised by how few BYDs I saw.
Yeah.
But I think the thing this really opened my eyes up to is how important so many other car markets are. Like, at no point, I think, they just don't seem to care about the US, even though it's huge, because obviously politically it's going to be very, very difficult for them.
Yep.
But also, why do we need the US? We've got all of this, we've got all of this, we've got all of this.
Yep.
Like the Far Eastern markets outside of China, and probably, I mean, there's no talk of Japan or anything, or Korea, because I guess they're just tied up with Honda and Toyota and Kia Hyundai.
You say that. I think there's a new. I think the Toyota Motor Show, the Tokyo Motor Show is on at the moment while we record, and I think I did see there's a BYD K car.
Oh, okay.
So that's being launched in Japan. So I think BYD are starting to sort of poke their way into the Japanese market.
So they they might all start to go over there, but there's no real chat about
No.
that from Chery. But then you look at like Malaysia's a massive market for them, and Thailand and Taiwan,
Yeah.
and on it goes and on it goes, and then obviously you get into like Middle East and Africa.
I think South America's quite big as well. I've seen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are a lot of people there from Brazil,
Yeah.
and you think, well, yeah, it's huge.
Yeah.
It's absolutely huge. And I think in this country we're sometimes a bit blinkered, and we think
Yeah.
every car manufacturer is making cars for Europe or US, and that's it.
Yeah.
And actually, they could probably exist very, very healthily without any of that. But
Yeah.
which is, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting anyway to just to see like the bigger picture, and to see something that's not trad European or US sort of car maker.
Yeah.
And it was nothing but impressive. A few people have asked me if I was paid to go. No, I wasn't paid to go. They paid for my flight and my hotel and my food and all that sort of stuff. But I didn't. That was just all dealt with. I didn't like have to submit expense claims or anything like that.
Yep.
And I think that just comes on the back of you going and being blown away by something. People are just a little bit sort of skeptical. But you know me, I say it how I see it.
Yep.
And yeah, very, very impressive stuff, and an absolute eye-opener. Food, by the way,
No Greg's.
no Greg's.
Ah.
Tough one at times.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Yeah. The McDonald's was. I had a Big Mac meal in McDonald's, and it was nicer than ours.
I'm not surprised.
And
The
it
ones
was
you
like-
get here are drop kicked through a window,
Yeah.
and yeah.
And it was like £3, which was, I think, was it 5 of us had a meal in McDonald's, and it was £18.
Ah, that's one meal, that is.
And a couple of people got large as well.
Jeez.
Um,
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, some of the things I've seen and heard. I mean, one of the guys from like the UK team, there were a few people over there going and doing other things around the summit, and they went to the factory one day and went into the canteen, the factory canteen, and they said there were a few Chinese guys sitting there, and they just had a plate full of ducks' heads that were cut in half, and they're just picking them up and sucking the brains out. I went to a hot pot place, which like you've got a big pot in the middle of the table, and you go and select all your meats and you cook them to your liking, and
Yep.
yeah, it's quite a cool thing to do.
Yeah.
And there's like something's intestines is one of the options that you can take and drop in, or a pig's brain.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Chicken feet obviously were sort of everywhere. In the taxi ride on the way to Woohoo, I was just sitting there poking around on the sort of Chinese equivalent of Google Maps, seeing what we were going past. Dog meat restaurant was one of them.
Oh yeah, I saw your picture on Instagram. Yeah.
Yeah, and I had a little sort of dig into that, and it looks like they have live dogs in cages. And then you sort of say, "Oh, how much is that doggy in the window?"
Yeah.
And they take it out the back. And it was just barbaric stuff like that.
Yeah.
One of the options on the breakfast buffet at the hotel was duck's blood tofu. And I did see something that appeared to be like a jam donut at the breakfast buffet, and I thought, oh, there you go, I'm going to get right into that. And I just went to pick it up, and it said contains pork. I thought, not sure about a sugared donut with pork in it. So
Yeah.
yeah, I must admit, I'm like not the most adventurous when it comes to food, but I'm also not you. And yeah, it was interesting at times. One of the best meals I had were when we were on the way. You know Ian. Well, me and Ian were in one cab, and we stopped at a service station, which was interesting. There were about 100 toilets in the men's and about 3 sinks and 1 hand dryer.
Oh, cool.
But but we stopped at a service station and had noodles, and it was absolutely incredible. But there was a man sitting behind Ian eating his noodles, and it's all quite noisy when the Chinese are eating noodles. And he was unwrapping raw garlic and just chucking cloves of raw garlic in his mouth as he was eating his like crunching on whole cloves of garlic.
That takes balls,
which I thought was interesting. So, like culturally, obviously, I'm talking about all this food and stuff and like putting it down, but it's just a completely different culture.
Yeah.
And I don't mean to put it down. It's just as an
it's very different, isn't
it? You might as well say to me, go and eat a dog poo, you know, as eat a pig's intestine or a brain or something.
Yeah, it's very, very different to what we're used to,
Yeah. But yeah, it was a mind-blowing experience. It was very cool. Oh, one of the options on the flight, a business class flight with China Eastern, first time I've ever flown business, and that was great. You can turn your seat into a full bed.
Oh,
so
wow.
I actually slept on a flight twice.
Wow.
If you can imagine that. But one of the options on the menu there was a pork cartilage with caterpillar fungus. So I actually gave that one a miss.
Yeah.
Yeah. But there we go.
Fair enough. Did you drive in China at all? Because I saw some other people that went. They drove around in cars, but
yeah. So I didn't because I came back a little bit early because like sort of family requirements, and also like it was a 10-day trip, the total trip, and you know I am a one-man band as such, and I do what I do for a living, and I just couldn't afford to be out of my business for that long, really. I probably would have just done it anyway if it weren't for like family needs.
Yep.
But yeah, they did like 1,000 miles across China at the end, ended up in Hong Kong and flew back from Hong Kong.
Oh, that's mad.
And it looked like that part of it would have been the highlight of the trip, without doubt. Because a lot of the time I was there, I was basically at a conference, and as interesting as it was, and as good as it was, that stuff they did those last few days looked absolutely breathtaking. But yeah, I didn't actually drive over there, apart from a couple of like did like handling tests in the Omega 7, which I can't talk about, and like brake test thing, and a few other bits. But they were all it was like in a car park of a theme park that wasn't open.
Oh, okay.
But it's mad, like the scale of it. Even that, we turned up to that, and it was like you were at an Olympic Village.
Yeah.
It was incredible, like absolutely incredible.
Fair enough. Yeah, sounds like an amazing time. Be good to go.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah,
it was good.
Yeah, I saw some the other week. I went to Cafe and Machine. They had this Chery / Carwow event thing. But Chery, the main reason I went is because I wanted to see what like the general public thought of the Chery vehicles, and also it's only down the road from me, so it's not too far to go. But they had the Tiggo 9 there, which was lovely. And actually, I realised I hadn't driven a Chery Omoda JQ vehicle yet that had the hybrid system.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I didn't quite realise. I drove the electric JQ, I drove the petrol Chery Tiggo 7, so I had to go, because they were doing public test drives. So I had to go in the Tiggo 8 hybrid. It's very nice, actually.
The hybrid system's amazing.
Oh, it's so smooth.
Yeah, and you've got like the driving characteristics of a full EV.
Yep.
Which I don't think you get in a lot of plug-in hybrids.
No, I don't. No, not really. No.
It's one of those where if you couldn't hear the engine, you'd just assume you're in an EV almost.
Yeah.
And they've done very, very well with that.
Yeah.
I think they've got new battery technology coming to that very soon.
That makes sense.
They were talking about solid-state battery technology over there as well, and they actually showed a compression test on a battery, and they compressed it to 50%, and it's mad. Like literally, this pincer thing comes in and goes, and
Wow.
and just crushes it. And then they submerged it in water, and it still was completely fine. Hadn't had any degradation whatsoever.
Was this one where they put 4 nails through it rather than the 1 nail that BYD did? Or was that something else?
Oh, that was something else.
Okay.
But they were doing all sorts of like silly things to batteries, and it was all completely fine.
Yeah.
And yeah, talking about solid state, which they say is coming next year.
Okay.
But they like 800 kilowatt chargers. I don't know. It's just crazy stuff.
Yeah.
And so much of what I saw over there sort of felt like science fiction.
I'm not surprised. Yeah. Did look quite
I
impressive.
was actually here now.
Yeah.
We got picked up outside the office by a car, and doors popped open, got in, and then you're sitting there, and there's no one in the driver's seat, and steering wheels spinning around and everything.
Yeah.
And it reversed us back over the wireless charger, and then popped the doors open, and I was sitting in the passenger seat and just said, like, open the window, and it just opened my window.
Yeah. It's very clever, isn't it? Yeah.
It knows if one of the things it can do is it knows if you've got a dog in the car, and it will set the. It's got a different kind of climate control, so it doesn't have like these huge peaks and troughs. It will just keep the car steady because pets prefer that.
Oh yeah, the JQ E5 had that as well.
Got it. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and it will know like if you've left a dog in the car will. It's got things now to kind of sense it, so it can turn everything on around that without you actually doing
it. That's pretty cool. That.
So yeah, just I could talk about it forever, really.
Yeah.
But I'm aware that I'm boring, so I won't.
That sounds like a great time. Yeah. Definitely, it's great exploring all the different brands and the culture as well. So it's
yeah, very cool.
Yeah, definitely. Back to reality now.
Yeah. Well, until Monday.
Until Monday, yeah. Very true.
Yeah. When I go from 7 hours in one direction, time-wise, to 7 hours
that direction
in the other, time-wise.
Yeah. We should call this the Chery episode, but one last thing I found out last night is, so you mentioned in a previous episode that you've realised that Chery was selling locally made Tiggo cars as Ebros in Spain. But there's this YouTuber guy that is Australian, but he lives in Russia, and he was at a Chery dealership, and they had these Tenet branded cars, which are quite interesting. And they're cars that are made in Russia, but they're essentially rebranded Cherys, which I thought was quite interesting. He said they're quite a bit cheaper, but you were saying to me that it's probably to do with the crash ratings and stuff. But it's quite interesting that Chery are deciding to launch these brands which are sort of locally sourced kind of things. So
that factory in Spain, I think it's Barcelona. They used to make like Nissan vans there.
Yeah.
Funnily enough, with a couple of the interviews I had with some of the C-suite guys, one of the things I was pushing for is will they manufacture in the UK at some point? Because they're manufacturing in a lot of countries already, and they've got R&D bases in a lot of countries, and in fact they've got some R&D going on here and have for a while.
Okay.
And he was like, we like to manufacture where the demand is. And obviously JQ's been a massive success.
Yeah.
But they wouldn't obviously be drawn on anything, but there was very, very much like we go where we're wanted.
Yep.
And I'm sure a lot of it will come down to government investment and opportunities. But obviously we've got disused car factories.
That's
and
loads
what
of them.
they've done in other markets is taken on disused car factories.
Yep.
And JQ's selling in big numbers. Obviously, they're not the kind of numbers at the moment where they're going to think we need a manufacturing base there. When you're selling 5 million cars with the best one in the world, say they did 100,000 in a year here, that's probably still not enough. But as they bring more brands over and stuff, but there's definitely very open to the idea of manufacturing in the UK, which I think would be fantastic.
Yeah, it should maybe bring prices down. I'm not sure though, because you won't have to transport it. But
it will probably make people more open to taking the cars. You think how
That's
much?
true.
I mean, when I was a kid, people used to sort of poo-poo Japanese cars, if you can
Yeah.
imagine that.
Yeah.
They used to call them Jap crap,
Right.
and eventually Japanese car manufacturers started manufacturing in the UK,
Yep.
and there was a lot more acceptance of them once they did,
Yeah.
or the ones that did, and then obviously they built their reputation over a number of years. And I also asked about, have they learnt something from the Koreans? And he said, yeah, we've learnt that in the UK, obviously their whole proposition and their market share has grown massively in like 20 years. They said what they did is when they first came to market, they came to market with cheap cars that were cheap. And we didn't want to do that. We wanted to come to market with good cars that were well priced.
Mm.
And he said that by waiting and biding their time, wait until the time was right to launch in the UK, they've probably cut like 10 years of possibly like reputational damage out.
Oh, God, yeah, that makes sense.
Because like the first Kias that came here were like opening the door of a tin can, and
Oh, yeah, yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
and they were really cheap, but they probably had to work to sort of change that perception of their brand.
Yeah. And now they're
And he's
amazing.
saying, like,
So,
with our brands, we're not having to do that.
hmm.
So yeah, it was really good, really
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, nice. I think that's probably it.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah, thanks again for watching / listening to this podcast. Please subscribe to the channel on YouTube if you are watching our handsome faces, and give us a follow in your favourite podcast app as well. That'd be really greatly appreciated. You can find all my car reviews on the Interface Cars YouTube channel. And where can they find you, Jim?
Go to my YouTube, definitely not a guru, and check me out there.
Yeah, you've also got Jet Set Jimbo, which has some occasional videos on there about your mad travels around different places and different things and hotels, all that sort of stuff. Come back for the next episode, and we'll see you again next time.